Stone Sour and Avenged Sevenfold are gearing up for their Nightmare After Christmas tour, which will kick off in January of 2011. And the two bands will be picking up where they left off after a very successful Rockstar Uproar tour, together along with Disturbed in the summer of 2010. One of the common bonds the bands have was the unexpected deaths of Avenged Sevenfold's drummer James the Rev Sullivan in 2009 and Slipknot bassist Paul Gray, who also passed away in May of 2010. Stone Sour's Corey Taylor and Jim Root are still grieving for their lost brother in their other band as the two feed off the inspiration of continuing on. Artisan News caught up with Stone Sour's Corey Taylor to get his thoughts on reaching out to Avenged Sevenfold after the Rev's death and why touring helps them stay in the moment to actually dwell on their loss.
I've talked to a couple of the guys, me and Matt talked a little bit. I reached out to Zachy when I heard about Rev's death, just to let him know that, he was in our thoughts. And those guys reached out to me when Paul passed. But it's not. I don't want it to come off like we treat it like the elephant in the room. But it's almost like you're too much in the moment to dwell. Basically, when we're out on the road, we're just trying to be as positive as possible for each other, and encourage them to have a good time, because then when they have a good time, the audience has a good time.
Corey also talked about showing support for his friends in their time of need and living for the memory and celebration of their fallen friends.
It's still, even a year is still very fresh, man. So for me, it's just about showing support, people can say it's a guy thing or whatever, but, just knowing that your buddies are there for you sometimes is just as poignant and powerful as sitting down and talking about it. There'll be time to talk about it. It's about embracing the moment and just living for the memory and living for the celebration of that life.
Avenged Sevenfold will be touring in support of their fifth studio album, 2010's Nightmare, their first to land at #1 on the Billboard 200 album chart. Stone Sour will be hitting the road performing material off of their latest hit album, Audio Secrecy, which debuted at #6 on the Billboard Top 200 in 2010 as well. Former Dream Theater drummer Mike Portnoy, who played drums on Avenged Sevenfold's latest album, will once again be their touring drummer in 2011. Nightmare After Christmas tour dates start January 20th in Reading, Pennsylvania, and extend until February 13th in Eugene, Oregon. After the tour, Stone Sour will head down under for a run of dates in Australia in February and March of 2011.